J'ai grandi en bas comme 50, je posais au stud à 16. Quelques années plus tard, je me retrouve sur les bancs de la Sud. L'histoire continue de s'écrire, de l'album au Zénith. Mais qu'il aurait prédit, frère, que Dieu nous bénisse. DJ Bla, balance le son.
Just first, I would say thank you again to be there. It's very important for us. These projects aim to build a common framework to widen access university for young people who are typically excluded from it. There are 4 objectives. The first one is to open access university to young people who are typically excluded from it, recognizing and valuing knowledge and skills and promoting and consolidating place to the university. It's also to develop non-formal and informal education at university by co-creating experimentations and local process. This also the idea to examine the role of the non-formal and informal education in European university to support and build sustainable societies. This afternoon you will discover 4 local process based on 4 cities, so as I said, Istanbul, Manchester, Helsinki, and of course, Rennes.
Je garde la chance me disant boy je vais tout niquer cette année. C'est que t'en penses je n'ai rien à foutre, je vais pas douter, c'est signé. Marquer l'histoire c'est l'objectif avant que Fleur se fane. C'est que du love pour faire la diff, le bif viendra demain. All eyes on me.
So to start I will call the French team to the beginning of the presentations. So thank you very much.
We exchange together into small groups and we share our analysis. And then we also had a World Cafe experimentation where we had to reflect upon 3 dimensions. So the first one was, what do we want to do? What we would like to see in this experimentation? And who, for which audience, for which kind of young people, and how will we involve them in the process.
Last year, To Have an Impact organized what's called a micro-adventure in the Pyrenees, which is the mountain region in the south of France. But this wasn't only about exploring or adventure, it was more about, it was also about having a social look at these spaces.
We noticed the lack of representation of people like us, minorities. And from that, we ask ourselves how our social constructions affect our travel practices. In order to figure it out, we started sociology research with students from various fields, youth and research professionals, and some artists. So after interviewing about 20 people in the streets, we found out that everyone has a different definition of minorities and travel. And we really want to make it accessible for them, and yeah, that's all.
Aujourd'hui conviés dans le but d'examiner ensemble une problématique. Le rap doit-il faire son entrée à l'université? Saura-t-on enseigner toute sa diversité? Mesdames et messieurs, saisissez le microphone, à vous la parole. Ils sont épatés par ce fossé Dans ma tête j'ai un savoir qu'on m'a pas appris sur le cahier. J'ai la foi, je pourrais jamais flancher. La confiance en moi se développe depuis que l'école j'ai quitté. Rien qui m'apporte plus que le peura. Si je le fais pas je le paierai. Je me suis vu dans le sofa avec la mâchoire qui serrait. Toi tu crois que je suis con parce que j'ai pas les bonnes notes. Libre de sa passion, y'en a plus d'un que ça chauffe.
Hi, I'm Sophia from To Have Impact. With the DMZ team, we realized that we had common interest in this project. On their side, it was to promote hip-hop culture in the university, and on our side, it was to ask the absence of minorities in remote natural spaces. Finally, our common reflection is to think about our absence. In this context, we have chosen to merge our skills around the common workshop, a hike in a natural space in the interest of making sound recording to create a music.
It's about you have podcast inside. You can rehearse, for example, for this. Oh no. Here about sugar and everything, and they about water also. Someone who speak about the price of water, who become more and more expensive. And when he want to drink, he's like, no,
I'm drinking your money. Ouais, j'ai entendu.
Someone told me that the lab exists, and because she knew that I like arty stuff, and that it's actually what I really like doing. Actually, I didn't have many words how to explain it. It's been so amazing, like mentally, and when I started in January, like Mathieu, it's a person that works here. He told me about the lab, and for me it was like mind blowing. Like I didn't expect something so fun, so nice and free. And I was like, okay, yeah, I want to try it. Like even now, like a few days, I did a body painting with some people, and the goal was to describe like my history. Like I always wanted to try something like that. That's why I try to be healthy and stuff like that, so I can be good mentally, so I can actually be able to do stuff like that. And like a few days ago I did it, and it was actually amazing. Like
All eyes on me, all eyes on me, all eyes on me.
During the first meeting between To Have Impact and DMZ, the idea was to meet and get to know each other throughout icebreaker games in June. And for the French masterclass, the first cycle, two main artistic speakers, me and Kevin, l'Authentique, organized beat making and writing demonstration in the aim to show how that can be possible to create a song and discover it.
En fait, déjà, il faut essayer de savoir qu'est-ce que j'ai utilisé. J'ai utilisé en kick, en snare, en hi-hat.
In the different step of the process, we do the session beat making, how to use software that specializes in creating instruments and recording music.
On va essayer de faire un petit rappel de la dernière fois. Et comment on appelle ce petit truc là où on a fait notre ligne de batterie? Le pattern. Yes. Pattern, ok. Et du coup, ce bloc là aussi, du coup. Mixeur. Yes, le mixeur ça sert à quoi du coup? À mixer. Hein? À mixer.
So you can come, welcome to the studio. La sauce, colle la sauce, c'est je montre qui la sauce. La sauce. Vas-y, mets un instrument, c'est bon, c'est parfait. Ça te va? that okay, this instrumental? You like it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good.
Nice. Sounds good.
Ouais, c'est bon, ouais. So a few setup for the production. We look off the music, the keys. What is the BPM, Nolan?
BPM, it's the beat per minute.
C'est trop mignon.
Juste faut pas faire de bruit.
C'est pas pour rien que je roule, fais ça pour la tête comme si t'avais fumé. Je viens pas d'ici, personne ne connaît mon histoire. Comme ici poussé, accent blouson, petit blé d'affaires DK City. Tennessee, pas de combat pour le plaisir, pas de combat pour vous baiser. J'ai le capable pour décider, gamme ski, 4, 5, 6 raisons pour tuer, yeah.
J'ai dit c'est après, c'est tout juste après quand je dis je viens pas d'ici. Là.
Petit blé d'affaires DK City, pour vous Tennessee.
Ok, et après j'enchaîne. Ouais, c'est ça.
Pas de combat pour le plaisir, pas de...
Non, en fait, même le premier... tu peux reprendre, je peux reprendre le premier?
J'ai le capable pour décider, gamme ski, j'ai 4, 5, 6 raisons pour vous tuer, yeah.
In this project, we want to analyze how university can increase this attempt to reduce the problem of accessibility to university.
Pour changer les lignes, pour bouger les murs, pour faire entrer les mots, pour faire résonner les salles, pour faire tomber les préjugés, pour ouvrir les esprits, pour mélanger les genres, pour brasser les énergies, pour déchaîner les idées, pour semer le doute, pour faire circuler la parole.
It's your turn, so if someone wants to say something, it's your turn from your side now.
Thank you very much for that, French team. I think in terms of the research, you're asking some really important questions for the project. Have you got answers to these questions that you want to ask about the ways in which informal knowledge, for example, can be promoted within universities? Because outside its walls, I imagine that in order to try to convince them to do something, you need to present them with something very convincing. So what are the answers to these questions? Do we know yet?
Not yet, but we are on good way. And our Vice Dean of Research is there this afternoon, Christophe. Say hello. Yeah. And it is one of their objectives. And so I think that the moment is very good. The planets are all aligned, and we will have a meeting very soon with Christophe and the Direction of Research of the High School of Public Health to see with Johan what we can do together to promote these informal skills.
À l'université, les deux m'ont permis d'exister, m'ont fait remplir des cahiers quand au fond et à la surface mon cœur caillé. Le rap m'a rempli de joie, m'a recentré sur moi, fait évacuer le noir. À tout ça, non pas que quand les pensées font des têtes à queue, tu crois que tout est acquis. Y a pas souvent statu quo, la faute à qui? À nous tous qui ne nous comprenons pas. C'est là que les mots sont des lames qui blessent ou soignent.
It is difficult to continue after a very powerful and also very interesting presentation. We are from Yeditepe University Sociology Department, and both of us are sociologists, and we are very happy to be working together with a civil society association called Zero Discrimination Association. In Turkey, we wanted to work with high school students and to organize fancy events, summer schools for high school students. And I know that the term summer school does not mean the same in every context, but for our context, You go to a summer school if you're a high school student and if your parents can pay for it.
Buraya ilk geldiğim zaman öncelikle üniversite ortamını çok zor buluyordum. Ama şimdi daha keyifli geçtiğini, yani yaz okulu olduğu için daha keyifli geçiyor. Ama onun dışında üniversite ortamı gerçekten benim için güzel olduğunu düşünüyorum yani. Ortamın iyi olduğunu düşünüyorum.
Yani benim için de öyle. Güzel bence. Ortamı ben bu kadar güzel falan beklemiyordum. Ama yani geldiğim ilk günden beri çok eğleniyorum, mutluyum.
The summer school was organized in the June of 20th, and we did continue the summer school through the whole week. So between June 20 to June 24th. So we finished the summer school right before coming here, and we organized it together with Zero Discrimination Association.
Bugün güzeldi. Üniversite hakkında bayağı bilgi edindik. Gerçekten bilmediğim çokça şey varmış. Öğrenmiş oldum.
Peki egzersizler sana ne kattı?
Egzersiz dersi gayet güzeldi. İyi bir spor falan yaptık yani. Formumuz iyi.
Eğlenceli buldun mu?
Evet, gerçekten eğlenceliydi.
Öncelikle yemekhaneyi çok beğendim. Ondan sonra seradaki bitkiler, sera çok hoşuma gitti. Kampüs zaten konuşmuyorum, çok güzel, mükemmeldi.
It was very interesting, even for the people who conducted the drama workshop the second day. One of the activities is storytelling. So, like you build a circle, and everybody, like one student, one participant says a line, and then the other one continues, and then in the end we have a whole story. It affects even their dreams. Like they want to live in a country where the dollar, the Turkish lira has more value, for example, that came up, and that affects their dreams for themselves, for their future.
Do you think in your university it will be more easier for, I don't know, some of them to try to go at the university, at the EDTP university, and I had a summer school at university, and maybe it will be more easier for them to enter at the university after that, like, I don't know, a gateway or something like that for them. Or did you already think about that, or maybe a next way? I don't know.
For example, Elmas, as the founder of the Civil Society Association, as she works with the Roma community, she explains how, especially women, but it's also true for young men as well, if you enter into the exam and if you cannot have a good score, you feel like, oh, this is a failure, I'm not good enough, and you stop trying, or you feel like it's your fault, or if you're a young woman, you say, okay, I will get married, and I have an option as for being a good mother. And that happens to be the case for many young women. So, for example, when we were talking about the gender inequalities in the education system, we were talking about such statistics that almost 1/3 of young people between the ages of 16 to 25 are neither in education nor in labor force. And an important percentage of this population is young women, which means that they quit school, sometimes even earlier than high school. And they wait to get married, or they get married very quickly, and they do not continue their education, and they do not work.
Si je me mets c'est pour dominer, niquer mon domaine, arrive le fond, mais le domaine veut le France. La forme c'est hebdomadaire, sans tout niquer. Marquer le domaine, charles, j'ai sali des guettes, on m'a validé pour mon côté, une équipe, on me détonne tous les tests, mais comme la haine. Regarde, j'ai tout mon mélange. Acteur de good, c'est gain, big boy, but même ici, les mains. Acteur de good, c'est gain, donc, hey, hey. Non, m'a assumé.
Hello!
Oh my.
Can you all hear us okay? Yeah?
Yeah?
Good. Okay, so we just wanted to give you a bit of background to both of the organisations. Manchester Metropolitan University, or MMU,
ou à Maëlys, je fais pas mon âge, faut des stratégies pour la code. J'ai appris un code, comment ça fonctionne. Ro pour ma daronne, me battre à personne. Préfère les faux à la forme, préfère les skinny. Je fais la différence entre ceux que je rencontre et ceux qui m'y rencontrent.
Okay, let's have our last presentation from the Finnish team.
Right, so first of all, yes, thank you very much to the French team for hosting this week. It's been a great pleasure to be here and very nice to get to know the city and all the different organizations that we have visited so far and more to come. Yes, and then, Jana.
Thanks, Kim, and hello everyone. I am Jana Härkönen from Finland also, and from an NGO called Valovalmennusyhdistys. And I'm alright with the public speaking, but the camera makes it somehow intimidating. That's better, yeah. Yes. So in Valovalmennusyhdistys, we work with people who are in a vulnerable life situation for one reason or another. We do a lot of youth work, but we also work with adults who are above 30 years old. And our mission is to guide them and to support them towards a good, meaningful life, whatever that may mean to them. Many times it may include education or working life, and actually learning is in the very core of our work, and especially non-formal learning and recognition of skills.
Mon métissage m'a rendu sauvage. Au fond de moi j'aurai toujours cette rage qui brûle depuis mon plus jeune âge. J'arrive pas à me conformer à votre image. Mon métissage m'a rendu sauvage. Au fond de moi j'aurai toujours cette rage qui brûle depuis mon plus jeune âge. J'arrive pas à me conformer à votre image. Je suis l'esclave de mon cœur mériterait un gilet pare-balles.
Actually, this was the introduction for this presentation. So first I'm going to do this participatory action research and something of the artistic productions. And then in the end, Jana is going to present her bachelor thesis. And then the big issue is the space for different genders. It's very difficult question for these youngsters.
Alright. Oh, we should do it individually?
No, you sing
together.
It's
better.
All eyes on me, all eyes on me, all eyes on me, all eyes on me, all eyes on me, all eyes on me, all eyes on me, all eyes on me.
Yeah! So good, so good. You are ready for the show tonight.
Yeah, tonight. The biggest part.
All eyes on me, all eyes on me, all eyes on me, all eyes on me, all eyes on me, all eyes on me, all eyes on me, all eyes on me.
So these are the probably most important questions we have talked about with the young people, and our toolkit part will also be quite a practical things around these, or answers hopefully to these questions. And this is not a final product, but we're gonna go into this direction.
I have to say that now that you read all the questions, I feel the questions because I just finished high school or vocational school, and I'm applying to universities, and it's what do I do? What do I do actually? So this is also interesting to be here and being with all of you, trying to make higher education easier to people.
Je suis fatigué, j'ai bossé toute la matinée. Et
Fais tes valises, on part à Dakar. Baby, t'es mal à vida. J'ai préparé tous les visas. Life so fast, babe, comme dit Maria. Fais tes valises, on part à Dakar. Baby, t'es mal à vida. J'ai préparé tous les visas. Life so fast, babe, comme dit Maria. Ok, ça fait. Ça y est, je suis fatigué. J'ai bossé toute la matinée. À vous. Ok, ça y est, je suis fatigué. J'ai bossé toute la matinée. À vous. J'ai tellement tourné, mais on me dit d'arrêter. J'ai tellement tourné, mais on me dit d'arrêter. J'ai tellement tourné, mais on me dit d'arrêter. J'ai tellement tourné, mais on me dit d'arrêter. Arrêtez tout le monde, hey. Ça y est, je suis fatigué. J'ai bossé toute la matinée. Ok, ça y est, je suis fatigué. J'ai bossé. Nine West, ok. Baby, t'es mal à vida. Oh, je prépare tous les visas. Life so fast, babe, comme dit Maria. Fais tes valises, on part à Dakar. Baby, t'es mal à vida. J'ai préparé tous les visas. Ok, c'est lourd, c'est lourd. Comme dit Maria. Hey. Fais tes valises, on part à Dakar. Baby, t'es mal à vida. J'ai préparé tous les visas. Life so fast, babe, comme dit Maria. Fais tes valises, on part à Dakar. Baby, t'es mal à vida. J'ai préparé tous les visas. Life so fast, babe, comme dit Maria. Fais tes valises, on part à Dakar. Baby, t'es mal à vida. J'ai préparé tous les visas. Life so fast, babe, comme dit Maria. Fais tes valises, on part à Dakar. Je suis fatigué. J'ai bossé toute la matinée. À vous.